Speed FM. Catch us if you can.
A speedy welcome to the show for everyone. This is the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and I am your host on the Speed Lane today. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, and you know how we do it on the Speed Lane. We have conversations about issues affecting us all as communities, as a society, or even our personal lives, morals, or even when it comes to family level. Now today we are unpacking a habit that almost everyone is guilty of, sometimes openly, sometimes secretly, and our focus is comparison. Now the question is, why do people compare themselves to others? Why do people compare themselves to others, from social media to school to work and even family circles? Comparison follows us everywhere. So it's more like, is there a reason that people keep doing this? Is it something that helps them, or is it something bad? And the question is, why do they compare themselves to others? Why do people keep doing that? Does it motivate them to grow, or does it drain, their confidence and then pull them down? Now, you too can call in to be part of this conversation. And the number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. That is 0808 427 5464. You can call in and share with us why you think people compare themselves to others, because that's not even something new. We have seen it most especially in these days. There were days where it was more like everyone is on their own and nobody cares about any other thing, but these days it's different. So why do people compare themselves to others? Or let's say it has actually been there, but then it's increasing, and for the most part I think that is doing more harm than good. So why do people compare themselves to others? People compare themselves, for many reasons, and sometimes it comes from like wanting to measure progress. Yes, I've heard someone say, well, wanting to measure progress, when you are with your peer group and people you grew up with and all of that, you can have that temptation to maybe compare. I was with this person in school, I was with this person like this, and this person is my age mate, so I have to be comparing to know if I am doing better than this person or the person is doing better than me, to see if you're on the right track compared to your person. And for others, comparison comes from pressure, what society expects, what family expects, or what social media shows every day. But are these reasons enough? Are these reasons enough for people to actually go through that self-torture of comparing themselves to others? And sometimes some people would say it's for insecurity, feeling like you're not doing enough. But is there a good side to this, or is it all bad? Why do people compare themselves to others? Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. That is 0808 427 5464. If you have just joined us, this is the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and this morning we are talking about comparison. So why do you think people compare themselves to others? Is it that they feel they are not doing enough, or is it that people just want to be better than others, or is it maybe because it's their friend groups and they want to see how far they want to be on the same level, and all of that? Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. My name is...
Okay, maybe call us back. We cannot hear you. Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. That is 0808 427 5464. Why do people compare themselves to others? Why do you think? Is it that they want to do better? Is it because maybe they are trying to be better, or is it because is it jealousy? Someone mentioned that it's jealousy, So is it jealousy, or is it pressure from society, to do better and all of that, or does it come from personal space? Why is it that people always compare themselves to others? Because in as much as it seems like it's not there, it's actually there, and it's become even more evident these days. And you find people saying, your age mate, other people even compare other people to others. I don't know if you get that, but some people will even compare you to your age mates, or maybe your friends and all of that. Can't you see the friends you're with? Like your friends have a car and then you don't. Your friends are doing this kind of job and then you don't. But then the most of the harm comes when a person himself or herself is comparing themselves to the next person, because you look like this person is carrying this person has a house at age 30 and I don't. This person has a good job and I don't. This person has a lot of money and I don't. And all of those things, it goes on. If you want to bring out the list, well, there is a whole long list, So why do you think people compare themselves to others? Why do they do that? Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. That is 0808 427 5464. Why do people compare themselves to others? Is it for growth? Like, is it because it will make them to be better people, or is it that it's just jealousy, or is it pressure, from society or even family and all of that? Why do you think? What is the reason? Why do they keep comparing themselves to others? And like I said, comparison can become harmful when it steals your joy, when you're no longer happy, you're no longer satisfied with what you're doing, and it makes you even doubt yourself, right? Or forces you to rush your journey. So why do people keep doing that, even if they know that, well, when I keep doing this, I feel unhappy, I feel sad, I don't feel okay, and you always end up maybe with disappointment from comparing, and then finding out that, well, this person does better than me. But there is still that urge, to go and compare yourself to another person. So why do you think people compare themselves to others? Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. That is 0808 427 5464. Call in and share with us why you think people compare themselves to others. Whether you think it's because they want to just do better, or is it jealousy, or maybe it's pressure from family, society, or is it all of them? Like sometimes it could be all of these things that just pressures one person, and then you find them doing some certain things that normally they wouldn't have done. Although some people would say, well, you shouldn't compare yourself to others because everyone has their own time, and all of that. Hello. Okay, we cannot hear you. Maybe call back again. And like I said, some people would say you shouldn't compare yourself to others because you don't know what they are, you don't know where they started from, or you don't know what they had to go through to become what they are. But that temptation can be there for most people, because if you find a lot of people still doing it, then it means that temptation to do it is actually really strong. So why do you think people compare themselves to others? The number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. That is 0808 427 5464. If you have just joined us, this is the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And this morning we are asking a question: why do you think people compare themselves to other people? Now, there are many reasons, like I said, but what do you think is the top? What do you think is the most, crucial reason why you see a lot of people, comparing themselves to other people and saying, well, I have this and this person doesn't have this, or this person has this and I don't have it, and all of that. And we hear reasons like to measure progress, and some people say, well, they compare themselves to others to make them grow, to maybe ginger them to even do better than they are doing and all of that. But isn't that harmful? Because I don't know, you get to a certain point where the comparison becomes, you start doubting yourself, you start feeling like you're not sufficient and all of that. So why do people still go ahead to do it? Is it that it's going to make you, do better, or is it because you don't want to be the last? I've heard someone actually said that before, that in my friend group, I don't want to be the one to carry last. And I'm like, that is reason enough, that is reason enough. Or why are you even looking at other people before you actually become something good in life? So why do you think people compare themselves to others? Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. That is 0808 427 5464. Call in and share with us why you think people compare themselves to others. Now, someone would say comparison is natural, right? It's a normal thing to do. But when it becomes too much, when it becomes even kind of obsessive, when you have to do it with anything at all. There are some people that cannot go by without seeing something and saying, well, my own car should have been like this. This person has a better car than I have, and what does that person have two head, or is that person better than me? Why would the person have something better than I have? There are some people like that who cannot even go by without saying that this person is my age mate, and see how far he or she has gone, and I am still left behind and all of that. So we find the comparison everywhere. Some people even compare themselves to their spouses, let's be honest, to friends, to colleagues, to different things. So why do you think they do that? Hello. Good morning. Okay, we cannot hear you, but maybe call back again and let us hear your opinion on our topic of discussion this morning. Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. That is 0808 427 5464. Why do you think people compare themselves to others? Why do you think they do that? Is it because it's going to help them to grow? Is it going to help them to do better, or is it out of jealousy, or what is it out of? Hello. Hello, good morning.
How are you today?
Yeah, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Dennis Harris.
Okay, we cannot hear you clearly. What is it with network? Maybe
My name is Dennis Harris. Can you hear me now?
hardly, barely. Please reposition and maybe call us back again. And it's the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And this morning we're asking you why you think people compare themselves with others. Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. That is 0808 427 5464. And you could keep trying, like maybe reposition and then call back again if your network is too bad, because we can barely hear anyone who has called so far. And like I was saying, is it because it's going to make people grow? Is it because it's going to maybe encourage them to do better, push, and do better? Or is it because well, they're just jealous, or they just want to know? Some people are just curious by nature too, and they'll just want to know what this person is doing, how far this person is going, and all of that. So what is the main reason? Why do you think people compare themselves to others? Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. That is 0808 427 5464. Hello. Hello. Okay, we cannot hear that as well. Maybe call back again and let us hear your opinion on our topic of discussion this morning. Why do people compare themselves to others? Is it because they are going to grow better? Would you push them to do better? And come to think of it, doesn't that actually harm people? But we'll come to that. Hello. Okay, now like I was saying, as for some people it's insecurity, feeling like you're not doing enough. That feeling can be there, especially when you get to a certain age in your life and you start feeling like, well, I am not doing enough. And I think this one, it comes in stages, because even if you're in, let's say, primary school, you have come to the stage that maybe you start comparing how good another person is doing in school, and maybe you're doing bad and all of that. And then when you get to a higher level, you still compare with that level that you are in. Maybe it's a workplace, or even maybe it's maybe you, from primary school you got to secondary school, and then you're saying, well, we have a head girl, and they gave that person a head girl, but they gave me a health prefect. Is it because I am not up to that person? Is it because I don't deserve that? Or is it because I cannot actually perform well in that area? Hello. Okay, well, don't give up, keep trying. Maybe you would catch up with us next time and share with us why you think people compare themselves to others. Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. That is 0808 427 5464. Call in and let us know why you think people compare themselves to others. And like I was saying, there are stages for everything, and sometimes you get to that stage, like I mentioned, the secondary school part. Hello. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Kenneth. I'm calling from Hangeior.
Okay, Kenneth, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Kenneth, why do you think people compare themselves to others? Okay, that's really bad. We can barely hear you, Kenneth, but do not give up. Maybe call in. Who knows? Maybe the network will be on your side next time. So why do you think people compare themselves to others, and bringing it to those levels I was talking about, I have to complete that because life is in stages, life is in stages. And when it comes to that secondary level, you're looking like, why did they give this person the head girl and I'm just a mere kitchen prefect, or you know how it is, and all those comparisons and the rest. And then at that stage, that is what you're comparing. Is it because I am undeserving? Is it because I am not good enough? Or is it because I am not capable? Do they think I am not capable? Is this person not my mate? Is this person not my age mate? And all of that. So why would she get this and then I would get not as much as she got? And then it gets to, let's say, a workplace, and then you be like, well, in this why did this person get a promotion and I haven't got? Is it because the maybe the boss is jealous of me? Is it because there are so many reasons. When you start comparing yourself to others, then there are so many reasons, so many reasons that you want to give yourself. That is it because of this? Is it because of this? Is this person just better than me, or what? You know it. So when you start comparing yourself to others, there are always those are many reasons. So like I was giving you reasons. Some people say it's insecurity, feeling like they are not enough. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning. Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Not at all. Okay, maybe guys, let's try again and keep trying to reach us. Maybe you could actually pull through next time. So why do you think people compare themselves to others? Is it because it's going to make them grow better, in life, and kind of help them to do better? Sometimes when you see other people and you be like, okay, if this person is doing this much and we are in the exact same age group, and all of that, maybe I could actually do as much as that person is doing. Or is it because they just feel insecure, like well, I am not doing enough, and if this person could make it at my age, then I should also be able to make it. There are so many reasons that people give. So why do you think people compare themselves to others? And if you have just joined us, it's the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And this morning we are talking about comparison. So why do you think people compare themselves to others? Number for you to call is 090-3648-5868. That is 090-3648-5868. Call in and share with us why you think people compare themselves to others. And if you're trying to reach us earlier and you couldn't, well, you can try this line now. It's 090-3648-5868. Call in and share with us why you think people compare themselves to others. Hello.
Yeah, man.
Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. Hello. Okay, we lost that, but maybe call back again. Number for you to call is 090-3648-5868. Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Dennis Hangeior. I'm calling from New Jersey.
Okay, welcome to the show, Dennis. So why do you think people compare themselves to others?
Well, the human nature is so complex that sometimes you don't really know what people want in life. I tell people there were people you were born with, many of whom are not alive today. You don't wish you were like them. There are people you were in primary school with. After primary school, some went to secondary school immediately, and some, came later. Some never even went beyond that. And then secondary school, some immediately got to university. But it will surprise you that some of them who even came back later, whose God has seen they'll be great, still became greater than the people ahead.
Okay.
So if you accept this reality, that God has a lane for each person, and in the lane you are, you should be comfortable and thank God for what you are,
Okay.
because some people that you are aiming, you don't know what their battles are. You understand? Let me give you an example of the current Chief of Defense Staff,
Okay.
General Oluyede. I knew General Oluyede in Lagos when he was a captain.
Okay.
General Oluyede, when they became senior military officers, he missed his promotion. He was a brigadier general. His mates were major generals, and
Okay.
many of them were, chastising and laughing at him. But lo and behold, when late Army Chief of Staff General Lagbaja died, they picked him and then gave him as a relative promotion. He became senior of these same people who were actually looking down on him that he missed his promotion, because he became the chief of army staff, so he has to become a lieutenant general. So the people who had gotten major general before him now had no choice but to salute him. That's one thing about destiny. So if you are destined to be something, no matter how the delays are, you will definitely get to get that fulfillment.
Okay.
So people should always look up to God first. Trust in God that whatever it is that they are, or whatever position they are, if you are looking at somebody and you're being envious, then you are really eating yourself up.
Okay.
Because everybody has their lane, and only God knows where. Because some people are gifted with very good children, some people don't even have at all. So you are not anybody's mate on earth. That is one thing that people should understand. Yeah, you'll be physically seeing yourself, same classmates, some people who even came out of first class are not that successful. So life is all about being content with what God has given you. If you have that contentment, then you wait until when God opens, and then definitely you're not going to have it all. Some of the things that you see that people have that you envy, there are things you have they don't have. That is how God has been. That is the mystery of God's blessing.
Okay.
So people have blessings in different ways. Some people you see them with beautiful houses, there is no peace in those houses. You understand? So would you trade that? Then that person whom you look at, he has a beautiful house, has a big car. There's no peace in your house. So what is the joy in having all those things if you don't have peace in your house?
Okay.
So people should also know that whatever God has for you, nobody can take it.
Okay.
So if you don't compare yourself with people, because you're not on the same journey with them. So my own advice to people is that they should be grateful to God for what He has given them. Life itself is a very serious blessing that some people don't have. Some people have that money, they have some terminal illnesses that are eating them up, and they don't even have that peace of mind. So if you look at it, God has blessed everybody. It's just for you to accept what God has blessed you, and then accept reality that you cannot be on the same lane with everybody.
Okay.
God has given everybody their lane.
All right. Thank you so much, Dennis, for calling in to be part of the show this morning. Now, Dennis said, well, people compare themselves to others, because sometimes they feel like they look too much, look too far and try to reach a certain stage. And sometimes he said, sometimes what someone has and then you don't have, you could have it in another way. Like maybe someone has all the money, but then you have something else that person does not have. And also he says comparison can be like a peace stealer, because when you keep comparing yourself to others, then you find that you don't have that peace. You're always under pressure, to maybe a meet up or try to be like that person, or just do as better as they are doing. You know how it is. So comparison can be a peace stealer, according to Dennis. And he also says maybe the way out of this could be that people should just learn to actually be content with what they have, contentment, and also to trust God, to know what He is doing in your life, to trust that He knows what point you are, and then that is the exact point that you should be, and then you should just keep praying, trust God and keep praying, and if something is yours, then it will definitely come to you. So why do you think people compare themselves to others? Why do you think? Is it because they want to grow and be better, or is it just jealousy, or is it pressure, or what is it at all? Why do people compare themselves to others? Number for you to call is 090 3648 5868. That is 090 3648 5868. Call in and share with us why you think people compare themselves to others. Is it that they are trying to, maybe if they compare themselves to others, then they will move faster, they will do better for themselves? Or is it that they are just jealous, or maybe they are just under pressure from society? Society also has this kind of pressure that it puts on people, like at this certain age you're supposed to have this, at this certain age you're supposed to have this and that and all of that. So sometimes people become pressured, fall under that pressure and start comparing. This person is my age mate and he has this, but then I don't. This person is in the same class, was in the same class as I was, and then he has grown up to become this, and I am still nothing. So you see, there are different reasons why people compare themselves to others. So now, what does comparison do to people? What negative effect would you find comparison, doing to people? And then he's already mentioned one. He said it can steal away your peace, which is actually true. It can steal your peace because you're in constant, trying to compare, and then you're getting hurt because you are not at that point that you want to be yet, and you're just having that mental breakdown every now and then, because you feel like you're not going forward in life and all of that. So why do you think people compare themselves to others? Is that a good thing or is it a bad thing? Number for you to call is 090, sorry, I take that again, 090 3648 5868. That is 090 3648 5868. Why do people compare themselves to others? Why do you think they do that? If you look around, you see it happening everywhere. You see it with classmates, you see it with colleagues, even partners compare themselves, to their partner and all of that. You see it with friends, and sometimes that could even ruin friendships. Looking at one of the negative effects that it could have on people, that could even ruin friendships. Sometimes you find some friends maybe comparing themselves to each other. You have this and I don't, you're this and I, how it is, and somehow it turns into that hate or jealousy because this person has something that I don't have, or then it turns into those friends maybe drifting apart. So that's also a negative effect, and that is what we are trying to beat, because we don't want things that will bring people down. We don't want things that will maybe put people down, and that is what we are trying to beat. And before we beat that, we actually have to know why people do that, why they are actually comparing themselves to others. Because if we don't know that, then it's more like if you don't know something about yourself or about other people, even when you become like those people that you're just watching, maybe for now you're not part of them, but maybe you're just watching them go astray and all of that. But if you're unaware, if you're ignorant, then you might actually find yourself in that same situation, and then you might not even know when you got there. So why do you think people compare themselves to others? Number for you to call is 090 3648 5868. That is 090 3648 5868. You can call in and share with us why you think people compare themselves to others. And we have been talking about some people wanting to measure their own progress, and if to see if they are on the right track, compared to their peers. And then for others, what society expects, and sometimes insecurity, feeling like they are not doing enough, and sometimes it's competition, pushing yourself because someone else is doing well, and you be like, how can this person be doing better than me? And when I even started better than before him, or who does it think he is? We hear things like that, so they are not even new to our ears. and who does this person think he is, and what does he have that I don't have? Does he have two head? I think this two heads thing even started way from when most people were younger, and you hear things like, this person that did this, did he have two head and all of that, and it just kind of little by little you might think that it doesn't have any effect on maybe children then, but then growing up into an adult, then you realize that, well, you actually got to that stage where you started actually comparing yourself to others, and it's no longer about even having two heads. You look at actual reasons and you be like, at this stage in my life, am I not supposed to do better than I am? Am I not supposed to be this? Sometimes it's good to ask questions, am I not supposed to be doing better? What is stopping me and all of that? But then when you pick certain people and then start comparing yourself, this person has this and I don't, that is when it becomes bad for you. If you ask those questions and genuinely try to do better, then it's okay. But then if you start picking people and then comparing yourself to them, we all have different journeys. And so if you start comparing yourself to particular people, then I guess you might just end up killing your own self, and losing your peace, losing friendships, and all of the other negative effects that come with it. So what is the way out of this actually? How can people stop comparing themselves to others? How can people just be content? Or one of the solutions Dennis mentioned, that was contentment. But when you just say someone to be content, it can actually be hard. It's like what to do to be content, but then as a human being you have those natural feels that you just feel like, well, this is not a matter of just being content anymore. Hello,
good morning.
Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
This is Moscow, Japan, calling you from Villasut.
Okay, Japan, welcome to the show.
Okay, I think this comparison issues is something depends on your personal decision. People compare themselves to others as a way of measuring their personal development, or to motivate themselves to improve in the process, to develop more positive self-image. At the other side, the flip side, comparing can lead to negative emotion like envy and jealous. So my conclusion is comparison is a double-edged sword, depending on how you use it.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for calling in to share that with us, Japan. He says it's a double-edged sword, depending on how you use it. So we keep asking, why do people compare themselves to others? And then we're asking the effects, right? And he is saying the kind of results that comparison will bring depends on how you're looking at it, depending on how you use it. Like, are you comparing yourself to others because you're trying to grow? If you're trying to grow, then it is fine, like you are safe. But then if you're comparing yourself to others because you feel like they don't deserve what they have, or you should be there, how it is and all of that, where you start feeling that unnecessary pressure to actually be more than someone. If you're just trying to grow on your own, then it's fine. But if you're a target, like if you have a target that I have to be more than this person, I want to be more than this person, then that is when it's not fine anymore. So what about you? Why do you think people compare themselves to others, and what do you think this can do to them, and what is actually the way out of it? Number for you to call is 090-3648-5868. That is 090-3648-5868. Why do you think people compare themselves to others? Is it just for growth, like he said, or are there other reasons that just make people want to always constantly compare themselves to others and all of that? You can call in and share with us, and maybe even leave a little suggestion what you think would be the way out, for most people to start seeing it like it's not a competition, and you shouldn't be comparing yourself, and actually doing better on their own, instead of marking a target like I have to be better than this person, comparing this person has this and I don't, and we are the same age and all of that. You know how comparisons goes. And we'll soon be wrapping it up on the speed lane this morning. So if you call in, maybe call in quick and then share with us your opinion on our topic of discussion this morning. We are asking why people compare themselves to others. Number for you to call is 090-3648-5868. That is 090-3648-5868. Now, comparison is natural, right? But it becomes dangerous when it stops you from appreciating your own journey. You can learn from others, but you don't have to compete with their timetable, because everyone has his or her own timetable. Hello. Okay, we cannot hear this person. Everyone has his or her own timetable, so everybody's path is different, right? And no one is late for their own destiny. So instead of comparing yourself to others and constantly feeling drained, losing your peace of mind and all of that, why not just stick to that contentment? Why not try to be content and then measure your own journey, measure your own growth instead of constantly comparing it. Look at what you were doing yesterday and compare it to how far you've come today and all of that. So focus on your own progress, celebrate your wins, no matter how small, even if it's just an inch of growth, no matter how small. Someone else's success isn't your own failure. Just because someone else is successful, it doesn't mean you have failed. And at this point, we'll round off on the speed lane this morning. I hope that you have actually learned from listening to all the conversation this morning, from the callers to what I've been talking about this morning. And we have been talking about comparison, on why people compare themselves to others. And I've been with you on the speed lane this morning. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior. So, and keep listening to Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. Also, do not go anywhere, because coming up next at 10 a.m. is King James 90s Top 10 right here on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And most importantly, don't forget to remember your journey is yours alone. So avoid comparing yourself to others and using others to measure your own success.
This is
Asking Radio 98.5 FM.
You get business?